welcome to the Evening Brew. And I'm Hannah.
And I'm Sara.
Yep, and we are the Perfect Storm BFFs, basically. Sara, what's your brew for the night?
Well, I have several drinks on my desk, like you did last week. I think that was last week, right?
Yeah,
I
it was
have
last week.
water, of course. I have
A
coffee
little
from
bit
this
of water.
morning. I have coffee from this morning, like half a mug that I still haven't finished drinking.
It's probably nice and moldy.
Yeah. I have ginger ale. I have peach tea. And I have Vita Malt Classic non-alcoholic.
Oh, how did that work out?
I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay.
It's okay. It's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting.
So, Sara, how did you get a hold of the Vita Malt?
I robbed a liquor store. No,
You got the non-alcoholic stuff?
Yeah, I got the non-alcoholic. No, it was when we were shopping in Kroger, and they had a 6-pack of these for $2, and I was like, why not? YOLO. And now I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of them because I don't think I can drink it. I'll give it to some kids.
Well, here, kids, you want some Vita Malt? Or Vita Malt or whatever the heck.
It's near beer, basically. Wouldn't it be so cool?
She'd be like, anyway. It's kind of like beer, except it's not alcoholic at all.
It's not alcoholic. You can't get drunk, but you can drive. Drink it and drive.
You can drive, yes. Well, I have what I've been having forever. I have my little Frappuccino. My tiramisu one I've been working on. My case of them I've been working on forever, so.
Well, it is really hot, so I don't blame you for having iced coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink hardly any coffee right now because, even in the morning, because it's just so, like, muggy and hot. I'm just like, I can't do it. And I could, like, put ice in it, but I don't really care for it that much, like, just with ice.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just don't. Like, it's not as good to me. But, yeah. So that's what we're brewing this evening. So how was your week?
It was interesting. It was kind of boring. I didn't really do a lot. I made food. I worked.
I saw that.
I didn't tell you about this because I wanted to see your reaction. But last week I was at work and my mom called me 3 times within like a small time frame close together. And I kept ignoring her calls and I was working too. And so then finally whenever I was cleaning up, I just answered the phone, answered my phone. And she was like, are you still at work? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, your dad got in a car accident. And
oh, really?
I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, he was on his way to Subway. He turned and he hit something. He doesn't know what he hit.
He doesn't know what he hit?
Yeah. He doesn't know what he hit. And then he went to Subway.
And he just went to Subway?
Yeah. Yeah. And he kept going and he went to Subway. And I was like, what the heck?
What?
And yeah, I know. I'm going to guess he didn't want to come home and have her yell at him. But she still did, so I don't know.
But
I don't know.
What did he run over?
I am not sure. He scraped up the side of the car because he drove my old car.
Yeah.
And he knocked the passenger side mirror. Is like it's there. It's just hanging on. And then
what did he hit?
Well, we went over by the place, and for those of you who don't know, there's streets. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there's like those signs, like one of the road signs right next to the street, and we went over by the Walgreens because he said he was over there and he was turning.
Oh, so I was
on the Walgreens.
I was picturing him like pulling into where Subway is and hitting something. I'm like, what did he hit? Like,
no, he was going from like South Street to Main Street, and so we go over there to see like what exactly did he hit, and to try and figure something out. And my mom was like all worried about whatever, and so then we saw one of the signs was bent, basically like that. And it was like bent, and it was all like messed up and bent
Wow.
and everything. And then, and so yeah, and we think that maybe that there was another sign that was a little crooked. I don't think that's it, because there's like scrapes on the side of the car, and that is bent up like he.
How did he like get out of it?
I have no idea.
Like, did he just like pull away?
I don't know. I don't know what he did. He doesn't even know what he hit. That's the thing.
How do you not? Like, well, a little background. Sarah, how old is your dad?
Like 85 or something.
Yeah, so that makes more sense.
He's old. But yeah. So he's old and everything, and he doesn't really know what he's doing at this point in his life. So we're not letting him drive anymore.
Well, that's probably a good idea, considering he didn't know what he hit, and he pretty much took down a street sign, which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's a wonder he didn't, like, I don't know, hit it more. Or, like, really total the car.
Just run everything over on the street. I don't know.
He really had to work over to get to there, though. Whew.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it was. If it was that. It could have been that. It could have been something else. I'm pretty sure it's that, because it's pretty, like, it looks like someone did kind of hit it and halfway run it over or something. And stuff. So.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's intense. Yeah, I would pull the keys from your dad forever.
Yeah, so he's not allowed to drive anymore.
I'm sure he's not happy about it either.
No, not really, but he'll survive.
Like,
so.
He ran into a street sign.
I was just glad, though. What?
I said he ran into a street sign. Like, he could have killed someone.
Yeah, I was glad that he didn't actually get in a car accident with, like, another person and get hurt or anything. And he seems to be fine. He, like, went to Subway.
Yeah, he went to Subway.
Yeah.
I just kept going to Subway.
Hit and run, basically.
Yeah. You're just like, I'm not going to stay here. The government's going to make me pay for this sign. It's probably like, this is going to cost me money. Oh, man.
Better get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, that happened.
Yeah. So, your mom, was your mom freaked out so much then?
I don't know.
Because no one got hurt. Because, see, when you say, like, your dad was in a car accident, you picture, like, crash, boom, people are dead or injured, and your dad was fine. And he went to Subway and got a sub and came back and was like, by the way, I mowed down the sign. He was just like, I hit something, I don't know what, and then I went to Subway. I see. I was imagining, like, because there's the Little Caesars right there, and, like, there's somebody standing there with the pizza signs. I'm like, I imagine your dad pulling in there, ka-thump, hits the pizza person, kills them, and just, like, keeps driving to the Subway. And he's like, I don't know what I hit. I hit something. I kept going to Subway.
And maybe
like somebody's
a thing.
He was like, oh my gosh, I hope he didn't, like, nick the pizza person there or, like, something, because that would not be funny, but
I don't think.
Also interesting. Well, when you were first describing me, I was like, oh my gosh, he, like, hit the pizza person or something.
No. Fortunately, didn't do that. Although he may have, who knows? Although I'm pretty sure Little Caesars would have called us by now.
Yeah, they would have been like, we have someone dead on the sidewalk. Our cameras
we were able to track you with your license plate. You need to do something about this. I don't know.
We need to do something about that. We need to, like, exchange insurances or something. Oh, man. So, anyway, that was exciting.
Yeah. How was your week?
Well, mine was pretty boring. We did a lot of cooking earlier in the week because we had to do stuff for blog posts. But at work, it was pretty much the same old, except for these people I work with got in trouble because they were bullying another member of our team. Oh, gasp. Anyway, if you don't know, I do samples at the Sam's Club. And, it's not hard. It's fine, Anyway, we had several new people come. And there's one new girl. She's super nice. She's a little bit slow, but it's fine. Like, she's really nice, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I guess she had a berry event, and Sarah knows what I'm talking about. But you have like all the different types of berries all day, and it was on a Saturday, so we were super busy. So
Yeah,
she had like
sure.
4 or 5 different kinds of berries. And when you do that stuff, you have to use the berries that are on like the store floor. You have to cut UPCs off and put them on the tags, all that other stuff. What you used, at least at Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And plus wash the berries and everything. And these were going to be used the next day. So she had to put them in the fridge at the end of the day, bag them up, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So she had a lot to do at the end of her shift. And she was on her shift with 3 other people. And these 3 other people, she was doing all of her stuff. And my boss actually went to the bathroom. And then she came back. And the new girl was like sitting at the table back there crying. Like, I guess literally like crying. And, well, actually, I heard about this later. But
yeah,
Julie, I said her name, oops. But anyway, the girl in question, she was like, they like straight up yelled at me. Basically, she told me the story on her way out the door too. But the people who were in the kitchen doing their dishes and whatever, yelled at Julie. And they were like, you need to get in the kitchen and you need to do your dishes right now. You need to start pulling your weight or you're not going to stay around here. Like, I guess they legit yelled at her to the point, I was not there, but apparently to the point that she was crying back there and she was contemplating quitting because she actually told Lenore, I want to quit. And Lenore was like, no, don't quit. It's fine. Like, I will, like, take care of this. You know, there's no reason that should have happened. And, yeah, so these 3 people, like, I guess yelled at her. One person specifically, but they were all, like, in on it. And she had it wasn't like she was out there talking or, like, shooting the breeze or just piddling around. Yeah. She was, like, doing her job. It just happened to be taking a long time. And my boss even got her off the floor early so she could work on it more. And she did them at lunch, too. It wasn't like she waited till the end of the day. She, like, did some lunch as well. She was doing her job just fine, and they, like, yelled at her to the point where she wanted to quit. And I heard about this because I was coming off the floor, and I was like, oh, bye, you know, whatever. And she's, like, was all, like, teary-eyed still even, and she told me, like, what happened and stuff. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I was so mad. Because she's, like, if you knew her, she's, like, super nice. She would never, like, you know, say a wrong word to anyone. Yeah. And, yeah, they were just mean to her. And then my boss was super mad about it, too. And they had a meeting. We had a meeting on Sunday. And basically she was like, the people in question were not there on Sunday. But she told everybody, you know, we all help each other. We're team players, you know, etc. And so she basically said that these people are going to be punished. Their hours are going to get cut. And, you know, they're going to get the last shifts all the time. For however long she sees fit. So they get, like, the yeah, I know. She was really mad. I don't blame her. I was mad. If they would have still been back there in the kitchen when I got back there, I would have told them, I'm going to listen, you leave her alone. She's fine. And the girl hasn't even been there a month. Not even a month. Yeah. Yeah. And they were yelling at her. And then Sarah knows the people I'm talking about. It's like the 2 youngest ones. And they're like the last people that need to say anything to anybody. Because they're the people who always leave their stuff out. I'm always doing their dishes. You know, and I have all the time, and I never said a word about it, and other people have. We do each other's dishes, and usually we never say a word about it. It's just like... It's just
common courtesy type. Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah, and you have to, like, all the dishes have to be done before you leave. Yeah. So, anyway, they left her there with her dishes, too. And you know what all the dishes that she had? Guess, Sarah. Guess how many dishes she had.
I'm going to say 2 or 3.
3. Yeah, she had 2 cutting boards and a knife, and she was doing berries. So guess how dirty they were.
Not very dirty at all.
Not very dirty at all. Yeah. So.
But probably not. No. Because she would just use the knife for the strawberries.
Yeah, just to cut the tops off the strawberries and to split them. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, you get in here and do your dishes over a knife and 2 cutting boards.
Yep. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Oh. If I would have been your boss, I would have just fired him. Especially the one girl.
You know, Yeah.
Yeah, I know how she is, but it's like, that's ridiculous. It's just uncalled for and rude. And it's like, it's not even like she was just had 3 things and they could have just washed them. It's
Yeah.
just called being nice.
Yep.
And whatever. And it's like, it annoys me so much when people do petty things like that. And it's like, you're grown adults. You don't need to treat her like, or you don't need to act like little kids and be like a bully and whatever.
Yeah, because they were basically bullying her because Lenore wasn't back there. So
yeah,
ridiculous. It was ridiculous, and I was really mad about it. I'm still really mad about it. I'm not happy with them. But my boss was supposed to talk to them today and tell them, they better shut their cake holes.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, she's supposed to tell them, and they will not be happy about it. So I was glad, but that was pretty much the only exciting thing that really happened to me this week. Other people were mean, and I got mad about it. I didn't really have any weird encounters at the Sam's Club, except for this one lady. I was doing berries Sunday, and she was like, "Do you have any dip for this?" And I was like, confused for a second because no one's ever asked me for dip to go with the berries. And I was like, wait, I was like, what would you? I was like, what do you mean, excuse me, or something like that? And she's like, oh, do you have dip for some kind of dip for these berries, or are they just plain? And she was like, are they just plain? Like she worded it like that, and I'm like, oh, they're just plain. There's no dip. And I probably looked like really confused. So I was like, what? And she actually went over to the other person who was doing a sample of raspberry chipotle dip, and she saved the berries, and she took it over there, and she dipped it in like the raspberry chipotle chip dip.
Why?
I was just like, oh my eyes,
She couldn't have even like just had the berry by itself or something?
Apparently not. That was just too much to ask.
What in the world?
As usual, people commented like, well, they didn't comment to me. Whoever it was had apparently talked to me before. And got probably a smart answer. Not that I'm rude. I'm not rude. I do just sometimes give smart answers to stupid questions. But they told the lady beside me, they're like, oh, this customer said to tell you that you need whipped cream for your berries. And I was like, wow, really? And I was like, well, because my reaction would have been, well, there's Ready Whip over in the freezer. If you go and buy a bottle, I'll put it on it for you. And that would have been my answer. And people don't want to hear that.
Yeah, usually not.
Yeah, people are weird.
I mean, it's like you're just giving them out by themselves. Is it really that horrible?
No, they're fine. And they're actually really good. Not like some of the Walmart stuff that you guys give out.
Yeah. The only thing I've heard, like, where my stuff, it wouldn't be that good is a couple people would just say they need sugar. But it's like one lady in there who always comes in and she just says that. And she's like, oh yeah, I get these all the time and I take them home, put sugar on them, and let them sit so they're sweet, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
If they're good, though, they'll be sweet.
Yeah. I don't care. Do whatever you want with your own berries. Just don't complain to the sample people.
Yeah.
We know we only have what we have. We follow the rules.
It's not like we can like crack open whatever you want and try it. Because there's been people ask me before, be like, hey, I really want to try this. Can you like open one up? And I'm like, no, I can't. What makes you think that I could just open up whatever the heck I want? I got like a free pass.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
People are weird. Anyway, our jobs are very exciting.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Well, for our stories today.
Wait, did you have any favorites?
Oh, yes, our favorites. I almost forgot. My favorite for this week is the coconut mocha coffee, donut shop coffee from, the donut shop Carrot Hot brand. And I picked these up for like 99 cents at Kroger's. And I'm really liking them. When they brew, it smells like fresh coconut. And then it's also really like strong. So I like that. It doesn't have much of a mocha flavor, but I like that it smells like coconut and like it has a really nice flavor to it. It is really good. If I find a big pack of this, I will totally get it. Because I only got one with just 3 in it. So I need to get more. But they had it for like 3 for 99 cents. So I thought, what the hey? And I tried it and I liked it. So that is my favorite for this week.
That would probably be good cold too.
Probably, yeah. Because it smells like coconut, like you smell the coffee.
Yeah. Okay, my favorite are these, which I got last week from our Degusta box, by the way.
Yep.
Go to our blog and find it. Shameless shout out right there. But these are the Haribo
I think so.
sour gold gummy bears, and I've always kind of liked gummy bears. I've not really been like, oh, I want to get some gummy bears, but these are addicting. As you can see,
I would say I gave you that bag. It was full the last time I gave it to you, and it's now almost gone.
Quite a bit. Yeah. So these are definitely addicting. If you like gummy bears, I recommend them.
Yeah.
And I've seen them in the stores, so they are in the stores.
Nice.
But
and shout out to Degusta Box for sending them to us.
Yeah.
By the way, it's a really good deal. I'll probably leave the link to the blog post so you can check out the whole thing in the show notes, as well as the morning brew where I talk about the coconut mocha a little bit more. I'll leave those blog post links in the show notes for everyone to see. And if you also want to follow along with our stories, I try to link those stories in the show notes as well. So you can if you're listening by audio, you can look at that and see what exactly we are on about and read the articles for yourselves and be informed. So, which that brings us to our first story, our regular news story. You're new here, first listener. We try to do 1 to 2, maybe 3, if it's a really exciting week, of regular news stories that we have real thoughts on, and we just, have hot takes all over the place. And then we do a couple triple threat news, which we call like food, fashion, and home. Anything to do with those things, we talk about those as well. And for our first story, it's like in regular news. It kind of bleeds into the food, fashion, and fun news. It's a little bit of both. It's a hybrid. But we're going to talk about the new soda tax in Philly. I think it's in Philly. Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to...
Yeah, in Philadelphia. Yeah.
So, Sarah, give us a little bit of background.
I have it up. So, recently, Philadelphia had, put in effect the beverage tax for soda being in effect. And it is going to be 1.5 cents per ounce, and taxed items include non-100% fruit drinks, flavored water, pre-sweetened tea or coffee, non-alcoholic beverages that are intended as mixers for alcoholic drinks and flavored water. And they reported that the tax is expected to add up to 18 cents to the cost of a 12-ounce can, which and $1 to a 1-liter bottle, and about $2.16 to the cost of a 12-pack of pop. We call it pop here. You can call it soda, whatever you want. But that is insane.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's crazy. I didn't know what your feelings were on it, but I think it's crazy.
My feelings are that it's really dumb. I don't know what their goal is, except to cut down on people drinking pop for health reasons, which to me seems a little extreme. I think it gets into the whole question on, is it the government's responsibility to not judge you, but to be
have you can't do this because we say so.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
Gonna do something raise the tax on it.
Yeah, you can do what you want to do. I think it's just obesity, whatever. But it's not the government's fault, nor is it the government's responsibility to tax items just because of that. But do they want and then that makes me think of the other question. Are they doing it because they want to look out for people's health and be like, well, if we tax this stuff, then people won't buy it? Cigarettes and alcohol, which doesn't really stop people.
No.
Or are they trying to just bleed more money out of people? Because how many people drink pop versus how many people smoke and drink nowadays?
Yeah.
I think that's it, too.
True.
It's one of those things that's they're saying like, oh, we're doing this because we care about you. And then, or like, we're looking out for the health of the people in this country. Obesity is a problem, whatever. But underlying, it's like, and we also make a ton of money off this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I see. Yeah, you're so concerned. That's pretty much the main goal, is you're concerned for everyone's health. Couldn't be those tax dollars.
When it's like, okay. Well, did you ever hear, this happened like, this reminds me of, it was a few years ago or something, I think, where the mayor of New York, he like took salt, like shakers and whatever out of restaurants, like all the public restaurants.
Why?
They weren't allowed to have salt, like on the tables, the little salt packets, to cut down on, I guess, sodium intake, to cut down on the obesity stuff or whatever. And I don't know. I don't really remember, but I think that it happened, and the whole idea, I think, was because to live a healthier life and whatever, so they took away salt. And I think it was like, if a restaurant would have salt, they would probably have to pay like a fee or something like that.
It makes no sense to me. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, like, conceptually, but
to me, it's like, to me, it's like, why? Because they're just taking away something that isn't really going to, like, make a huge difference. Because it's like, you can still go and get like fries and burgers, and these are like dosed in grease, covered in grease. So why would it really make a difference?
Well, and I'd like to think, at least, that people aren't just going around and dumping like a whole salt shaker full of salt on their food. You know what I'm saying? And and in my experience, it's the opposite. Because, like, back to our job, but whenever we demo anything and it has any sort of seasoning, salt and pepper even, and people are just like, oh, what did you do to this thing to make it so delicious? And we're like, I put salt and pepper on it. Or like some other seasoning. And they'll be like, what? That's it? That's all you did? You know, now that could be a regional thing, but I don't know.
I think it's a regional thing, but either way, it's still like,
I still don't think people are going around dumping tons of salt on their food. Not enough to make a difference.
I don't think so. I think it was more like to cut down on people having heart attacks or something with cholesterol. I don't know what. But to me, I think like that wouldn't necessarily be like the answer to the problem. I think if you do something else.
There's more stuff like in, I think one of the big problems with sodium is everything, but a lot of stuff that people eat are like frozen or preserved, canned, boxed. All that stuff is super high in sodium. I think that's where the bulk of it is coming from. Even soup stuff that you wouldn't think is high in sodium is totally high in sodium because it's prepackaged. Mm-hmm. We've gotten away from fresh foods, so.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I know they're not talking about salt in this article, but it's like the same.
No, this is like,
kind of argument.
But we kind of got off of the article. But anyway, back to the article.
Yeah, it's the same basic thing, though. Like, it's the same argument that, like, cutting down, like the U.S. cutting down on something or raising a tax on something or having a fee on something to make people, quote unquote, healthier. And it looks like they're going to. The American Beverage released a statement saying it will seek legal action to stop the law, saying that it unfairly singles out beverages and calling taxes of this kind discriminatory and highly unpopular. Well, for sure it's going to be unpopular. Yeah, I don't think that.
Well, then they passed it in Berkeley, California, but no other major U.S. city has been able to pass such a task.
Yeah.
Or tax.
Yeah.
Other major cities tried to pass it in
New York and San
Francisco. I guess in New York and San Francisco, but I guess they're just not. They're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because the people who like put the stamp on it are like, no, I drink pop. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Who knows?
Well, and it says a similar tax, so I'm wondering if it's even as high. Because this seems awfully high anyway. It's like, what? What did it say again? 18 cents per 12-ounce can $1 for every 1 liter bottle, $2.16 for the cost of a 12-pack.
Yeah.
They're usually like
like a 12-pack of Pepsi I saw yesterday at Walmart was $3.33. So it'll be almost $5.50.
Oh man, that is a lot
For
a 12-pack.
12-pack. Well, no, it's like how many like the 1 liter bottles are usually always like $1 anyway.
Now $2.
It'll be $2.
And then the 2 liter bottles will be probably about the same because they run about $1.25. So the 2 liter bottles would probably be like what, a little over $1 per extra. So
for $2. Yeah.
So you figure probably $2.50 to $3 for a 2 liter bottle by the time you get done with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just ridiculous. I do agree that we need to stop drinking so much pop as like Americans, but I just don't think that it's the government's responsibility to tell people what they shouldn't do or like try and like give people, like make people do that. Like people are going to do what they want to do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now the tobacco and alcohol I understand more because, tobacco and alcohol, they're like not that sort of thing. But how much money is this going to bring in? Probably a ton.
Well, if it's like, say, $1 per 1 liter thing a bottle, then, well, wait, let me think here. Okay, so, like, for example, I saw people buying pop yesterday when I was working, and there was some people who got, like, five 12-packs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is a lot, but I don't know, whatever. But they bought 5 12-packs, and that's $2.16, so that would be $10 right there.
Gosh.
Just in that one person buying that one purchase, and if you imagine, like, 10 other people doing that, then that's $100, I don't know, half the day.
Yeah.
A day there. I don't know, just a
well, it says that
guesstimation.
The mayor was able to sell the idea because he said that they were going to use the expected $90 million. So they're expecting $90 million a year from this to support pre-kindergarten community schools and recreation centers.
Huh.
So basically, he wants the money from it, not like he doesn't care about the people. Well, maybe that may be true, but like I said, I'm pretty sure he's going to want all that money. And I'm pretty sure the motivation to actually care about the people is kind of low, if I can judge. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because if they could get, I mean, they could have like another tax on something else, but I don't know. I mean,
I guess I can kind of see it a little bit because Philadelphia is a really, not really low income, but like. I feel like they have their ups and downs, like with the steel works and stuff, or maybe I'm thinking of Pittsburgh. But anyway, it seems like I don't know, but cities need money for things.
Philadelphia has their Philly cheesesteak.
They have Philly cheesesteak. They have Rocky.
The Liberty Bell. They have Rocky.
I was thinking of Rocky, like the Philadelphia projects or something, but I could be getting my wires crossed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But all cities need something to function, but. I don't know if taxing pop is the best idea. Everyone's like really down with taxes anyhow, so
yeah,
I'm down with it.
Well, and two, it's like how already people. I feel like people are drinking pop less and less because of the health benefits.
Well, this isn't.
So I wonder how many people would be like, okay, I'm not drinking it anymore now. So then it would maybe backfire on it.
Well, this isn't just pop. Remember, this is anything that's not what it says, including all non 100% fruit drinks, flavored water, pre-sweetened sweet tea, coffee. So any like Starbucks or whatever, non-alcoholic big mixers. So yeah, like the margarita mix and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically anything that's not. Except baby formula and products more than 50% fruit or vegetable juice, so like the Odwalla stuff or the naked juice, probably.
Yeah, or just anything that's like 100% juice. Yeah.
So that's like what? Gatorade, every flavored water. And a lot of people drink flavored water. And Gatorade. So yeah, it's not just pop. It's like the alternative.
I wonder if they would count that for like the Crystal Light stuff
Ooh.
that you like squirt in the water bottle and whatever.
I don't know, because it's like
count?
Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? It's like a powder almost,
Yeah.
or like the equivalent. It's a concentrate. It's not like the actual liquid. But maybe if it was like the bottled Crystal Light, they would. It's already made.
Maybe. Yeah.
I
don't know.
That's a weird question. I wonder if that would be taxed.
But
yeah, so it's everything except for like 100% fruit juice and plain water, apparently.
I guess plain water, yeah. Gosh.
So basically, whatever you drink, you're screwed unless you're drinking plain water.
Unless if you drink like plain water and just buy your coffee,
baby
like
formula.
beans, like ground and baby formula and 100% juice. Which, to be honest, that is most of the time what I always do drink, even though I have pop and tea here on my thing.
Baby formula?
No, I have like coffee and water, and I do have tea. It's pre-made and pop. But for the most part, I drink only coffee and water, and sometimes I will drink pop. Otherwise,
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah. I understand.
Anyway.
Yep.
Either way.
Bad idea. I don't like it.
It's a bad thing.
I mean, good they're getting money. Bad that they're taking it out of people's taxes on the things that they drink, other than alcohol. And
at least other big cities aren't really implementing it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people get super mad if they did. Super mad. Yeah. Oh, Ayesha. So, anyway, on to our next story. There's this girl. Her name is, I think it's Ayesha.
I think it's Ayesha.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I watched the video in this article, and I already forgot how they pronounced her name. I'm a terrible person.
I watched it.
I did too, but I forgot.
I even knew how you pronounced it even before I watched the video, because I figured.
Well, aren't you special, Sara? Just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But basically, what happened is, I'm sharing. Sara, can you see the article? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
Making sure. Basically, this guy, he's like a commentator, Stephen A. Smith, tells Ayesha Curry to basically shut her cake hole. Not really. She just told her to be quiet because she took to Twitter as celebrities do. Well, she's not a celebrity background. She's the wife of, I can't remember who.
NBA of Stephen Curry. Stephen? No, wait, not Stephen. I lost his name. I'm trying to find it.
I know.
Oh
my gosh.
Why can't I find it?
Oh, Stephen Curry. Or Steph Curry. His last name is Curry. Steph Curry, Stephen Curry. You are Steph Curry's wife. Stephen A. Curry. Yeah. Wow, we are butchering this. It just says Stephen Curry. Oh my gosh.
Okay, then.
Steph. I don't know how I pronounce his name. It just says Steph.
I think it's Stephen because PH is like the F.
Yeah, I know, but they're just
it's this new thing they started to do back in the day.
Which I'm thinking of Stephanie. When I say that.
I do too.
Anywho, she's the wife of someone in the
wife of Steph Curry, who is an NBA basketball player for the Warriors, I think. I didn't really catch what.
Yes, this is the background on this is the whole. She tweeted something really dumb, basically, because she was mad. Because if you missed the championship yesterday or the day before, I can't remember what day. But anyway, it was the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It was the day before or something.
It was the Cavs versus the Golden State Warriors for like the championship, NBA championship or whatever. And the Cavs won. So her husband is on the team that lost. So after the loss, she takes to Twitter and she writes, "I've lost all respect. Sorry, this is absolutely rigged for money or ratings. I'm not sure which. I won't be silent. Well, and I'd like to point out, just pointed live sorry, or just saw a live sorry. But I would like to point out that she made a typo on in. Instead of she put or ratings in not sure which instead of I'm not sure which. How dare she? It was a typo. It is
Oh my
inexcusable.
gosh.
That's really what this article should be about, is how that she messed it up. But anyway, she sent out this tweet that basically she's saying that the game was rigged. They shouldn't have lost. And this sports commentator basically said that she should not take to Twitter to say her opinions because it reflects badly on her husband, basically. In the nutshell is what he said, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically was like, you're the wife of Steph Curry. You are not, he never quite said it. It was like he never quite said, like, you don't have your own voice. You can't say what you want. But he kind of was saying it.
Yes.
And he was like, you're the wife of Steph Curry. You represent yourself and your husband. So you have to watch what you say and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And all these things. And the guy really talked on and on about it. To be honest, I didn't pay attention 100% because I was trying to read the article too. But anyway. But the guy was just repeating himself a lot, basically. And then by the way, she did delete the tweet afterwards, and then she had another tweet saying that, where was the one where she said something like, sorry for her tweeting that, she's had a rough week or something.
Oh, it didn't say that.
And
in this article, it doesn't say that.
I read that somewhere.
Oh, well, they didn't put it in this article.
I don't know where.
Maybe this is a HuffPost article, so they didn't put that in there. But she may have.
But apparently, wait, maybe I read that in something else because I was curious.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, she deleted the tweet, and then she said something that she apologized and that she was having issues with a family member being in jail or something.
Oh.
And she basically like apologized and for the tweet that she tweeted. And to me it was like, okay. And so then the guy, he calls her out on all this stuff, and then she tweets at him, and then he has a response again, basically telling her that he like kind of backtracked, but then he basically repeated everything he said again.
Well, her tweet to him after he made the comment was, why are you putting two women against each other like that? You're the one that's out of pocket. Which I don't know what she means by out of pocket, but I feel like that was an autocorrect error.
I didn't quite. I kind of thought maybe she meant out of line.
Maybe. It was probably an autocorrect error. I mean, she misspelled, several things in the first one. Anyway. And so he felt the need to clarify in the video, which I will link in the replay and everything, that he was not, because he actually compared her and said she should be more like LeBron James's wife, where she doesn't say anything. She focuses on her own stuff, and she doesn't really bother anyone with her opinions. Basically, she should just sit down, and shut up, and be a good wife. Basically.
Yeah.
So he felt the need to clarify that, no, I'm not pitting you against each other. I'm just saying she's a good example of what an NBA wife should act like. Which to me doesn't really solve the problem.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I will say, I'm going to take like the other side of this. I kind of agree with him a little bit. Because it's just like being the president's. Yeah, I agree, Janelle. Janelle's listening. She's our number one fan. She came in late. She's still our number one fan on this blab. I agree. She was a sore loser. She tweeted out something stupid and misspelled it and everything. And it was like, fine. Fine. She was a sore loser.
Yeah.
But she just tweeted it out of anger and whatever. But I agree with this guy just a little bit because it's like, if you're, I mean, this is kind of like taking it a step farther, but it's just like if you're the first lady, you can't just tweet out whatever the heck you want about politics and the president and whatever just because you think that. You're just going to stir up a lot of trouble. Not for you, only your husband. Because, believe it or not, you guys are attached. You know what I'm saying? Like, your opinions are his opinions, so to speak. Like, I mean, as far as, like, what people generally see. Now, whether that is right or wrong is up for debate. But, so I agree a little bit with what he is saying. I did not agree with the delivery of what he was saying.
Yeah, I agree.
And
because it's like, when you're in the public eye, you just can't really, like on Twitter or anything, you just can't tweet or say whatever you're actually feeling. It sounds like so sad because it's like you can't actually, you know, say whatever you want like a real person. But once you're in the public eye, you just can't because people will take it and they'll judge you and they'll do whatever, just like what happened with her.
Yeah, because that's what happened. Like, she tweeted this thing out, says crock that they won or whatever. And then everybody just like, oh, she thinks it's a crock. You know, it was rigged, obviously. And, you know, and he made a comment in the video, if you listen to the video, that, you know, you should think about your husband because you can get him in trouble with the NBA. Because she was accusing the NBA of it being rigged for ratings or, you know, money. And that can get you in trouble. Because they're not going to do anything to her. They're going to do something to him, which is going to affect her and her money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that was a good point, because he clarified that. He's like, no, I'm not saying, he's like, I'm saying you can do whatever you want, lady. But, you know, you're going to make trouble. If you keep, like, doing this kind of thing, you're going to make trouble for your husband and yourself. So.
Yeah.
But the overwhelming majority of people are like, she is an independent woman. She can say whatever she wants. And I agree with that to some extent. But you got to be prepared for the consequences. If you're going to do that, you got to be prepared. Like she was.
And I kind it's like what you said where I agree with you where it's like people are all like, oh, so she can't have her own voice. She can't be her own person and all this whole feminism, women's rights crap and whatever. No, I'm joking, but it's like where people will be like, and it's like, oh, she could be her own woman, she can have her own voice, blah blah blah, and it's like, yes, but like I said, not when you're in the public eye like that. Have your own voice, write a letter, whatever. Talk to yourself in your bathroom. I don't know.
Talk to yourself in your bathroom?
Like, I don't know, but it's like, you have to just, it's like what you said. It's like, you can't just say whatever because people are going to take it and run with it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the delivery was wrong in the whole process. The guy shouldn't have said and, like, he should have worded things how he worded them, basically. But
he probably did a bad move by comparing her to LeBron James's wife because women, I think we instinctively hate it when we're compared to other people like that. Like, you should be more like this girl. She's a good girl, you know. She's quiet. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And she's done this for 15 years, you know. You shouldn't say anything. I think that was probably because that was what she came back on. She would tweet it and she's like, how dare you put these women against each other? And it's more like, I don't think he meant it quite that way, which is why he clarified. But,
Yeah, I think that it was something like what you said, is women, we do not want to be compared to another woman, where it's like, they're both women that are wives of men that play in the NBA, but it's not like the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, even in the first place, you don't want to be compared to someone else to, like, I don't know, you just don't want to be compared. That's basically
no,
it.
But
and we get mad, we get angry, the claws come out. I don't know. these
The
things.
claws do come out sometimes. I just feel like I feel like I was in the majority, at least from reading the comments on this article, because everyone was like, "She is a woman. She can do whatever," and I'm just like, he has a point, people. Like, she's not just. Or to me, it's like, if you're going to do that, you got to be prepared for the consequences. Like, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to have to be prepared for the backlash for it. But I did not know. They neglected to say in this article, at least, was not really that unusual of HuffPost, but that she apologized and stuff. Because to me, that's fine. You know, fine, apologize. But it doesn't erase, like, what happened. I mean, it wasn't even a big deal. What she said was not a huge deal. It's like what Janelle said. It was like a sore loser tweeting out, you know, this is rigged, you know, basically. She didn't say that, but it's the fact that she's the wife of one of the NBA players is what makes it a big deal.
Yeah.
If you were just some random dude tweeting, it would not have mattered, but it's who you are that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So basically, I go against all these feminist people who are like, she has a voice, she has whatever. I agree with them, but I also agree with Stephen A. Smith, who is like, you should probably watch what you say, because you are the wife of an NBA player, and what you say affects your husband, because it does. And I know a lot of women kind of like that, who are, they're like, my husband doesn't mean anything. Well, that sounds weird. Not mean anything to me, but it's like,
well, it's kind of
I
like
am my own
like,
person. I say what I want.
I'm my own woman. Yeah.
But I mean, whatever you do, whatever you say, it's going to reflect on your husband. And it's, but whatever he does and what he does kind of reflects on you too. So it's like, you're married. It's going to happen.
This is how it works.
I feel like you can take feminism. Alyssa wrote in that she's normally a feminist, but I think people can take it too far, for sure. Alyssa, you popped in late. But basically, the wife of one of the NBA players, the losing team from the NBA championship, tweeted out that she basically thought that the game was rigged for ratings or money or something. And she got a bunch of flack for it. And this sportscaster guy, Stephen A. Curry, told her to, well, the title of this article says to know her place, but I don't think he really said that.
Shut her mouth and know her place.
I don't think he actually said those words, just to get you in on this story. I don't know if he did or not. I didn't see the first video. But basically just said she shouldn't be saying this stuff.
Why did you watch the first video?
You know what, Sarah? I put as little as possible research into whatever I do, so if it wasn't in this article, I didn't look it up. I'm just kidding. Okay. I just didn't think about it. I was going to, and I forgot.
He basically, I watched it. He basically did say that he didn't say what the title says, but he basically said that she can't say things like that, and she is a wife of an NBA player, and she needs to respect the things. She needs to watch what she says. He basically says a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. And
the main thing that she took offense to was that he compared her. Well, he compared her to LeBron James's wife, who doesn't say anything about anything, who is has a small business. She's concerned with that. She doesn't really comment on the whole NBA goings on. And he was like, you should be more like her. She doesn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
And that was where she tweeted back and was like, you shouldn't bet us against each other. And then he made a video and clarified that he wasn't doing that. He was just saying, using her as an example, and then re-clarifying that you shouldn't say those things because it can affect your husband. As an NBA player, he can get in trouble.
Yeah.
And people took her side and said she could say what she wants because she's a woman, she's independent and strong. And then I'm halfway because I agree with him and I agree with her. I just think she can say what she wants, but she can deal with the consequences if she so chooses. But she probably shouldn't if she's smart, which is what he was saying. So, yeah, that was a recap for Alyssa. She popped in on the blab late.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And she was lost, so that's what happened.
That is what happened. And I will link the article in the replay as well. Okay, for the next story, Sarah can take this one.
It's one I found.
Yep.
So, I saw this article on BuzzFeed, which we all know is the main news source of the world. But it was something that has been an issue, it seems like, for several years, where magazines, advertisements, all these things will Photoshop like crazy on celebrities to make them look perfect. And in the article that we have, it's about, I don't even know who this woman is. Do you?
She's from, I don't know, like, I just know she's a Bollywood actress.
Okay.
So it makes sense for us to not know who she is. But
yeah,
in India, she's Indian.
Anyway, and she was on the cover of Maxim India, and she looks like a smoke storm.
I'm going to pop it up on here.
Have it up. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, the whole thing is it points out that her arm is up like this, and
it's above her head for all of you all who are listening on the audio later.
Yeah, and she, her armpit looks perfect. It looks like she has no hair, no wrinkles, all these things.
Not even like a bend.
No, there's like nothing. There is I'm seeing like a slight line that is not very noticeable. And they made it look like that. And the whole idea is that it doesn't even look like an armpit. But the whole idea is that it's like they have several other pictures of her, and it obviously looks like a real armpit and everything.
Yeah, this is like a picture of her at some event that they used to contrast. Yeah. She does indeed have a real armpit, which I'm glad that they really did a deep dive on that for us. Yeah,
but it's like, my whole thing with this is how much like magazines and everything will Photoshop the crap out of people and to make them look completely perfect and flawless and everything. And kind of like how it's kind of like, I don't know, to me, I'm no photographer, you are, but it's like Photoshop is good and bad for several reasons, because it does help people. It does help with certain things, like, I don't know.
Well, you can do general retouching. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but it's like when it's so much like the person looks completely fake and airbrush and plastic, it can look it's a little overkill. And my whole thing with that is how much like magazines and everything have always done that. And it was kind of like growing up, it sounds kind of sad, but it's like growing up, I would see magazines and I would see women and they have perfect skin, and then I wouldn't have perfect skin, and I would be like, what am I doing wrong and whatever. And then I realized, oh, they're photoshopped,
I'm not doing anything wrong, not really. Well,
I'm not doing anything wrong
besides being naturally ugly,
yeah,
born with it. Sometimes it's Maybelline or Photoshop.
Yeah, or Photoshop. But that was my whole take on the thing. And we've even witnessed like people who are photographers and they will go a little overboard with the Photoshop. And I don't understand why people do it. And I've even seen some where people have like babies. Like they'll take pictures of babies and the baby's face.
I hate that.
For Photoshop.
It's like they take
and it looks so weird.
Like go crazy on baby skin, which is already smooth. Like there's a photographer in our area. She did that to like a baby, and it was horrifying because it just made her look like a China doll or something. Like she looked like a porcelain doll, like a creepy doll. Not a good way. It was creepy, like smooth, because she also photoshopped like her eyes, like the irises of her eyes, so they would be like blue or whatever, like really ghostly looking. And it was like
really blue. Yeah.
Whew, that looks like an animated doll, not like an actual human child.
Yeah.
And it was scary. And she also does it. I need to go to bed. Did it to regular people's faces. And would just be like, now I retouch people's faces. Don't get me wrong. But I would do it light smooth. Takes away a lot of the, because when you have a high quality camera, you get, especially really close shots, you get to see all the pores and stuff as soon as you go to print it or as soon as you pull it up on your screen. It gets gross on the human skin. And you just need a light brush to take the texture out of your skin just a little bit so you don't see all those pores and all that ick. You know, because everybody's got it. We just don't need to, like, get a close-up of it. You know what I'm saying? And if anyone ever asks me, you know, hey, I don't want my photos retouched at all. Usually I'll still do color corrects, like as far as, like, aesthetic things. Like I'm talking like black and whites, sepia tones, etc. But as a photographer, it's one of the things that annoys me when people over-edit and they're just, like, edit every little thing out. And it has to still look natural. It still has to look like that person. You can't, like, replace it with, like, a Photoshop bomb shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they
I always feel so bad for these girls who will, like, get married and they'll really, like, their wedding pictures will be overly photoshopped and they look like a completely different person than, you know, every other day that they didn't get married. And it's like, what the heck? And whatever.
I did a girl's wedding recently. And she has some pretty intense acne scarring and stuff. And it was kind of a nightmare to edit because it's just so prevalent that you just can't find really a patch of skin without, like, some sort of, that sounds really mean, but some sort of blemish on it, which is fine. Like, I'm not, like, pointing her out or anything, but I'm just saying, I just, in that case, like, you do the best you can to, like, make it look as natural as possible. I didn't take all of her blemishes out, but I did take, like, the most noticeable ones that were, like, you know, active pimples or whatever. And I just kind of smoothed it a little bit. So she still looks like herself. I didn't, like, chisel in her chin or take wrinkles out or laugh lines or anything like that. It's just, you know, a little concealer, basically, for her skin. a little digital concealer. But I think that's fine. She still looks like herself. She still looks like whatever. But on the close-up pictures of her and her husband, we don't get to see all of the pits in her skin, which is great. So. Yeah. But you shouldn't have, like, not even Barbie doll plastic arms, because Barbie has a joint for her shoulder is like a joint.
Barbie has a joint.
She has a joint, like.
This is a good comparison, Barbie.
Not even Barbie has elbows as plastic as this lady does in this magazine. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just it's another example of this intense photoshopping, which I forgot to tell you, Sarah. I was going to send the article to you, but while I was reading this article, there was another thing that was, I guess, by the same Indian writer for BuzzFeed, and he talked about this actor in Bollywood who was basically doing brownface for, like, this one movie that was coming out.
I see that on my computer right now.
Yeah, I saw that. You can link that if you want, but it's like another example of, like, this weird perfection that people want. Because, you know, most of the people in India are, like, brown, like brown. Yeah. It's fine, but then, like, a lot of the Bollywood
actors for their skin tone.
Well, I don't know about that, but yes, you don't tan at all. You're just, like, pasty white. I tan a little bit.
White all the time, but.
But yeah, but, like, the ideal over there is, like, fair skin. Not like white, but like fair. Like the fairest you can pretty much get. And so instead of, like, casting an actor who is, you know, browner than that, like, hot guy, they had, like, him put, like, a crap ton of bronzer on, and he looks nice and tanned. And about a shade or two browner than what he actually is. Because they have, like, pictures of him on the article. Less brown and then browner.
Yeah, and I see it. It's like they got him and they had him do that, and then they're saying, like, here's an idea, just cast dark-skinned actors. I kind of see their point, because if he's a good actor, then you would, like, want to have him do it. So I don't know what the problem is there.
I guess. Well, I just think it's insensitive. A little bit. I think the issue is, like, there's that ideal, there, apparently in Bollywood, like the lighter actresses, like the people you see in all the media, like the posters and stuff, are like fair skinned. And like the people who actually look like everybody else in their country are pretty much not there. Like not represented very much at all.
Huh.
Which kind of goes on with well, this is a little bit different, a little more offensive. Where, well, I should know it's the same thing because she's black. But Zoe Saldana, you know what I'm talking about? She was on Avatar. That's the only thing I can think of right now. She's been in other stuff.
It's not Zeldana.
I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Crap, I can't remember. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, though. She was on Avatar. Well, she's playing in this new movie called... Crap, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry, I didn't even research on the fly when I just talked about it.
Saldana. Yeah,
Saldana.
Saldana, I think.
Yeah, let me look at this movie. It's about a famous black woman, Nina Simone. She's playing Nina Simone. And she's kind of fair, like African-American woman. And she did blackface for this movie. Like, they made her look really, really dark. Like, real dark. And people took offense to that because there are a ton of actual, like, dark or African-American women who could have easily played the part. And they picked her. Like, the whitest one. And people also took offense to it because Nina Simone's music was all about accepting who she was. Like in the lyrics to some of her songs, she was like, you know, I'm a big-lipped black woman. That's kind of how I am, whatever. But then they, like, pick Zoe Saldana, who has thinner lips and lighter skin, and they make her blackface, and then they also, like, did her lips so they look bigger, too. And then there's so many, like, African-American actresses who could have played her, and it would have been more true to, like, what she really looks like.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can bring up that article. Or one of the articles. There's a bunch of them. Because they do it like kind of side.
I can see why they would be. I don't know. It's kind of like the whole other thing where maybe the whole thing is that they wanted someone who is a good actress. Because she is a good actress, and maybe it was something that they wanted her to have a certain look. Obviously, they did change how she looks by making her skin darker, but I don't know. I can kind of see the reason, but yeah, it's kind of like there are other actresses out there that are darker and everything, but I think that especially now in Hollywood, I don't know. I'm no Hollywood expert. I just read what BuzzFeed has on it. I'm joking. But it's like, I think that especially with actors and stuff, it's more and more competitive. And so I think it's like whenever you have a movie come out, you need to have really good actors. You need to have really good acting and stuff. And she is a really good actress. And so...
I disagree. Well, I don't disagree, but I do a little bit because I think that there are just as good as her actresses as her. She's not like the best.
Obviously.
Like, man, I can't remember these people. I'm really bad with names, but yeah, obviously I am, Sara. Jeez. But it's just like... There's the girl who's going to... I don't remember her name. She's going to play Amanda Waller in the new Suicide Squad movie. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She's super good. And she has a really dark look. She has that, you know, quote-unquote African-style look to her. You know, she's fine. She would have been perfect for that. And she can really do drama. Like, she's been in, like, Tyler Perry's movies. She can do the drama, you know, easily. And Zoe Saldana, Saldana is fine. But... nothing about her role. I mean, I haven't watched the movie, but nothing about like her acting really wows me. I mean, enough to be like, no, I'm not going to pick any of these other people, and not, one of the other actresses. Yeah, because even to the point where they had to put like prosthetic lips and stuff on her. I think it could be that,
or it's just a thing like like how
I just
like
think that that's a little
popular.
wrong.
I don't know. I don't feel like she's not as popular anymore. She used to be, but it's kind of like how everyone. Like
she's not that popular.
Jennifer Lawrence, and it was like she was in every movie. It seemed like, and it was like okay. And I don't know who it is now. I don't really follow anything now anymore.
Yeah.
I'm bored with it all. But anyway, why are we talking about this?
I'm saying, well, originally we were talking about Photoshop and people's ideals of beauty, and why we feel the need to match something to our own, which led to the Bollywood actor who bronzed it up,
basically.
Which led to Zoe Saldana, who bronzed it up. But she had prosthetics too, which I think is a little more extreme. You had to put like prosthetic lips and like her nose. They had to redo her nose and stuff. And I'm like, there are plenty of like African American actresses who probably could have done it and looked. Actually, they said they originally casted Mary J. Blige, but then they changed their mind.
Yeah.
Not that she's a good actress, but she could have done all the singing.
Yeah.
Because the girl was a singer, jazz singer, and stuff like that. And she had to look more. Yeah. A little bit more.
She's thin and she's small.
She was like that build because the girl was like bigger boned and everything, and Zoe Saldana is like really thin. That's why I said they had to like pack on the prosthetics on her, which I think is a little extreme for such a movie that's not like a blockbuster either. Like it's not like let's change the world type of movie. But I don't know. I think people. Yeah. People just need to like not. I just think people need to not like try and make their ideals. They can just like pick who they want to pick.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the photoshopping, like just let people have their armpits.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to see all the little baby hairs, Photoshop that a little bit.
That is.
But don't make it look like she has no armpit.
I know.
That's a little intense. Sarah, we were long-winded today.
This is our...
It's all right.
Yeah, and this is our, I guess, triple threat.
And we have one more story, and then we're going to log off for the night.
It's not really a news story, I guess. I don't know how much you've seen these around. Okay, well, they kind of blew up on the internet, and if you don't, and it is the...
I have not.
Gummy jelly bottles. And basically, I saw these like videos of this on Facebook one day, and then I have seen them more and more in the internet. And basically what you do, because like in the article, there's like a bottle of Sprite. And the idea is what you do is you take the bottle of Sprite and you pour it out, the Sprite out, and then you put gelatin in it, mix it with it, pour it back in the bottle, let it gel back up, and then you cut the bottle off of the gel, and then put the label back on the gel bottle and the lid on it, so it looks like it's a bottle, and then people cut it up. And that's basically it. And I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of everything. And I don't understand what the point is. It's like you do all this work. I mean, I don't feel like it's not too much work, but it's like you do it and then you just cut it up, and it's just so it can look cool, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching this video. What is she doing? She pours out the soda into another glass. Obviously, you don't want to just pour down the drain. That's good Sprite. Exactly. You don't want to waste that. It costs you extra tax in Philadelphia. Gosh, you can't waste any pop now. You peel off the label, poke it with a knife down the side.
Oh,
Right.
I think that's
Duct
so
tape it
stays
then.
sealed,
Okay,
and
well,
she can easily
there you
take the
go.
tape off and
Duct tape
take
what you
the
just
bottom,
cut,
take
which
the
makes no sense.
plastic off. Yeah, yeah. I actually saw someone.
Take it apart when it's done.
I saw someone else
Smart.
do this on their YouTube
Girl
channel,
smarter than I am.
and they like.
Okay, she's pouring the Jello into the bottle. Sorry, I'm narrating this video for the podcast peeps. You should be watching on YouTube. You could see it for yourselves. All right, and then she seals it up. All right, okay, I'm with her. And then she put it in the fridge. She didn't say that. And it's taking the tape off. All right, got the slit. Now she's cutting the slit with the scissors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then she just unwraps the plastic, right? Just peels the bottle. Okay. Oh, she's checking it to make sure it's nice and firm. That sounded really wrong.
I would be so afraid of like squeezing the gel and like just ruining the whole thing, because I could see myself doing that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to make sure it's set up. You'd have to leave it in there overnight almost, probably, to make sure it's set up. Well.
Yeah.
And then she just basically takes the bottle apart, it looks like. And then you have, what, a bottle-shaped Jello?
Yeah, and then the cap.
It's so you can cut the label back on.
For a party and trick everyone, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And put the bottle back on, but then she's going to slice through the Jello.
It's cool.
I like her paring knife, by the way. I've seen those around. That's a nice detail. It's a cool paring knife. It's like red and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's delicately slicing through the Jello. And that's it.
She's just slicing them.
Well, and we indeed see that it is Jello, and she keeps slicing for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then she's got pieces of Jello.
That's
it's magic.
What you do at the end.
And that's all she's doing, just cutting it up.
I don't know.
What's the point?
I don't know.
Well, what's the point of making it into a bottle shape if you're just going to cut it up? People aren't going to know that you turned it into a bottle.
I think it's just this trend that is slightly stupid.
I don't see that.
And what we need to do is
I love how they say it's a standout dessert at your next gathering.
Go to the next gathering.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know when that will be, but sometime, and see what happens. Just blow everyone's mind.
Well, this is my question. Why would you not make the Jello Sprite flavored Jello? She just really missed a great chance. I think she did lime, and it's just not the same.
I saw one too last night. I don't understand.
I agree with you, Sarah. That is a stupid trend.
Milk.
And I don't understand it.
2-gallon or half-gallon thing of milk, and it was like, the color of milk, white, and they and they like melt a white chocolate. They poured the milk out, melt a white chocolate, and then put a little bit of white chocolate back in the bottle, and then spread it around in there so it would still be hollow.
Okay.
And then let that get hard. And then they took the and then I think they put M&Ms in the bottle, so it would be full of M&Ms. Then they took the plastic, cut it off like they did in the bottle, with the Sprite bottle, and then put the lid on it, and then took and had it like laying on the counter, and then took a hammer and cracked it, and then the like M&Ms came out, and that was it. I know. That's my thing.
There's a lot of work for just like one little thing. Do you remember? Do you remember the melting ball that they had? I don't know, a while back. It was like a white chocolate ball, and they they did it. I can't remember how they did it. Jeez, but basically, it was as a chocolate ball, and it had a bunch of
Yeah.
berries in it. When they assembled it, they made it so it had berries and cake and fudge and stuff all in it. It
Yeah,
had
I
like
think I
cake and
remember
whatever in it.
seeing that.
And when you
Yeah.
pour hot fudge over top, it would melt the
Yeah.
white chocolate ball. It's like, what's the point of
Yeah.
that? You're just gonna
I
melt
think I
it?
remember. Yeah.
Because it was like really
I
involved
know
to
I
get like
would.
the cake and stuff kind of in it.
And to me, I don't see what the point
Like you
is.
had to be
It's like
careful. I would mess it up
it's a lot of
easily.
work just to like
It's like,
cut it up, and it's like with the Jello. It's like, why not just put it in a bowl or whatever?
yeah.
You're a Jello mold. Yeah.
Get Jello molds. If you want to make it fun, do
Yeah.
Jello shapes.
Yeah,
Like
they have several.
they have like Star Wars shapes and stuff like that now. I mean, pretty much any shape. I'm pretty sure you can find a Jello mold. It's like, if you want to make your Jello fun, just put it in a Jello mold. I use the brain ones for Halloween and make it look like brains. You like the pink ones? I mean, it's just Jello. That's the thing. It's not even like, ooh, fancy. It's like, no, it's Jello. It's like, oh, what's she gonna do with it now? Cut it up. Oh, so she just has cubes of Jello at the end. Yes, isn't it neat? No, it's not neat. They said something like, wow, your kid's at a birthday party or something in the article, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
it's only gonna wow them for like 5 seconds when you tell them it's Jello, and they're like, oh,
yeah.
well, that looks cool. Until you cut it up, and it's like, well, that kind of went down quickly, all the excitement. Just do molds, Jello molds, brain molds. Like I said, they have bug molds, they have Star Wars molds, they have all kind of molds. I'm sure.
For nothing.
Just
For
do
like,
Jello
yeah.
molds. And then
to
it's
have
like
it look like a bottle.
so much work for like
that's it.
No payoff.
Yeah.
And then they like go to the trouble of putting the label back on.
Right, like the bottle.
Whoa! Like you're fooling
like,
everybody.
Be like, why is this laying down and stuff?
No, probably not. Well, I'm sure you'd walk in with it in your hand and be like, "Hey guys, you want some Sprite? Yes, we want some Sprite. All right, let me slice you off a piece." And they slice the Sprite, and everyone's like, "What?" And then
so
like you have,
exactly
it's Jello. Oh, I got you. Oh, you got us.
Some person, you want some Sprite? Because this is the drink.
That's how I imagined it
all.
going down here at the party. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be at a kid's birthday party. Hey, kids, you want some Sprite? Yes!
Yeah,
We love Sprite.
Sugar, it has sugar in it.
More caffeine! Actually, I think Sprite's caffeine-free.
Exactly.
Oh, darn. Oh, sugar is just good as caffeine anyway. For kids. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought about it last night after I saw the milk one. And
I agree with you, Sarah. I'm glad you found this.
Talk about that because it's stupid. Yeah.
Also, yeah. There's a lot of stupid food trends that go around. A lot of them. Well, anyway, that about wraps it up for us tonight. We're done rambling on about food and tweets and all that goodness. So, armpits,
brown,
blackface, or slightly darker face. It's not really blackface because it's just slightly darker blackface. So yeah, join us again next week. We'll be blabbing at 9 o'clock Eastern time every Monday night. And you can check out the podcast, the audio version of this. We're now on iTunes, so you just search The Evening Brew, and you will find us there. I try to get the episodes up every week, so you'll get them. And then I put the video, if you're interested in the video, seeing our beautiful faces, and the articles in real time. you can check us out on YouTube as well. Just type in Perfect Storm BFF. And Sarah, you're still trying the Vitamalt.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You're like, oh. Well, you paid $2 you got to get your $2 worth out of it.
I do. Yeah, it's got that much left, though.
Is that your first bottle?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd crack it open for the evening brew.
Whoa, special occasion.
And stuff. Because it's a special occasion.
It happens every Monday.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, I'm Hannah. And yep, and we are signing off for the week. Enjoy your week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.